You're quietly feeding disease just by buttering your toast. Why does your memory feel slower lately, even though you sleep well, take your vitamins, and try to eat healthy? Most older adults never suspect the bread. It's just toast. It's just a sandwich. But after 60, this same slice that once gave you energy might now be quietly fogging your brain and stiffening your blood vessels. One slice of packaged white bread, often over 200 on the glycemic index load, spiking your blood sugar fast, then crashing it, draining your energy and starving your brain. And it's not just the sugar. It's the refined starch, the missing fiber, the hidden sodium, all silently working against your brain, your circulation, your balance. You don't need to be gluten sensitive. You don't need to have diabetes. After 60, even without symptoms, your body starts reacting differently. The bread you trusted for decades now demands a second look. So let's begin right at the breakfast table. Because one of the most damaging daily habits for your brain, blood, and energy might just be the one you think is safest. 1. Is your daily toast clouding your memory? You eat to feel awake, alert, ready for the day. But what if your breakfast toast is quietly working against your brain? As we age, our brain becomes more sensitive to fluctuations in blood sugar and inflammation. And that innocent slice of white bread? It breaks down quickly into glucose, triggering a rapid blood sugar spike, then an even faster crash. For older adults, this roller coaster affects more than just energy. It can slow down brain signals, disrupt oxygen flow to the brain, and interfere with neurotransmitters tied to focus and memory. Ever walked into a room and forgot why you were there? Lost your train of thought mid-sentence? That fog might not just be aging. It could be what you had for breakfast. And here's the warning. These small slips often feel harmless, but when repeated daily, they may quietly build toward cognitive decline, especially if combined with other risk factors like stress, lack of sleep, or hypertension. So what can you do? You don't need to give up bread, but you can trade the white loaf for fiber-rich, whole-grain bread. Even better, pair it with healthy fats like avocado or eggs to slow digestion and protect your brain from sharp sugar swings. If you've noticed more mental fog lately, comment 1 below. If you've already switched to whole-grain bread in the morning, comment 2. Your habit could inspire someone else to clear the fog, one breakfast at a time. 2. The hidden salt in your bread could be raising your blood pressure. You stopped adding salt. You take your blood pressure meds on time, but still, your numbers stay high. Why? Here's something most people don't realize. Just 2 slices of common white bread can sneak in up to 400-500 milligrams of sodium without tasting salty at all. That's nearly a quarter of your daily limit before you even touch the salt shaker. As we age, our arteries naturally become less flexible. High sodium silently worsens this process, tightening blood vessels and forcing your heart to work harder. The result? Elevated pressure day after day, even if you eat clean. Ever felt your heart pound after a meal, or noticed your face feels warm, your head slightly heavy in the morning? These signs are easy to ignore until they aren't. The danger is not in one sandwich. It's in the silent stacking effect. Daily salt from bread, soup, sauces, all adding up. For someone over 60, this slow buildup can push you closer to stroke risk without warning. Here's the shift. Try low-sodium or sourdough bread, which often uses less salt, and read the labels. Even healthy breads vary wildly. If you've been surprised by sodium levels in bread before, comment 3. If you already read bread labels closely, comment 4. You might be one of the smart few staying ahead of silent pressure. 3. Tired before noon? Your bread might be to blame? You eat a full breakfast, you even try to eat clean. So why do you feel like napping by 10:45? IEM. Here's a hard truth. Many breads marketed as healthy are still made from highly refined flour. They digest fast, too fast. Your blood sugar jumps up, then crashes. And your body, left without fuel, signals exhaustion. At 30, your system could bounce back, but after 60, these crashes hit harder. They sap your alertness, drain your energy, and throw off your balance. You may notice it as yawning before lunch, slower thinking, needing that extra cup of coffee. But behind the scenes, your cells are struggling for steady fuel. And here's the repeated risk. When you're tired, you're more likely to skip walking, forget your meds, or reach for sugar to wake up. It's a cycle that gets harder to break with age. Here's the fix. Choose bread that digests slower whole grain, sprouted grain, or sourdough, and always pair it with protein or fat. That one change can turn your breakfast from a sugar spike into steady fuel. If you feel that energy dip after eating bread, comment 5. If you've made the switch and feel more stable, comment 6. Someone else might read your comment and realize they're not just getting old. If any of this sounds familiar, you're not alone. Thousands of people over 60 feel that same brain fog, that same crash after breakfast, and never trace it back to the bread. But the fact that you're still watching? It means you care. You're paying attention, and that already sets you apart. Now, let's keep going, because the next insight might be the one your body's been waiting for. 4. Your white bread spikes blood sugar like a dessert. Let's talk numbers. A slice of white bread has a glycemic index higher than table sugar. Yes, higher. That means it can spike your blood sugar faster than a slice of cake. And for older adults, these spikes aren't just dangerous, they're exhausting. Every sharp rise leads to an even sharper crash. And over time, this roller coaster wears out your insulin response, increasing your risk of type 2 diabetes. You might not feel it right away, but the signs creep in. Dry mouth, blurry vision, cravings right after eating, tingling in your feet. And the worst part? You think you're eating light. But in reality, your body is fighting to stabilize every bite. The solution? Choose bread with a low glycemic load, whole grain, rye, or sourdough. Better yet, always eat bread with a source of fat or protein to slow digestion. If you've been told your sugar is borderline, or you crash after eating, comment 7. If you've already switched to low GI breads, comment 8. Your tip might help someone stay out of the danger zone. 5. Silent inflammation that ages your blood vessels. Every time you bite into soft, fluffy white bread, something invisible begins inside your body. Your blood vessels tighten, low-grade inflammation rises, and over time, your circulation slows, your arteries stiffen, and your risk of heart disease climbs. Quietly. It doesn't hurt. You don't feel it happening. But you might notice cold hands and feet, slower wound healing, or that bruises last longer than they used to. This isn't just about heart attacks. It's about blood not reaching your brain, your muscles, your legs, the way it should. But there's good news. Switching to fiber-rich breads helps reduce inflammation markers and protect your arteries. Sourdough, sprouted grains, flaxseed breads, they nourish instead of inflame. If you've ever noticed your hands getting colder, or your cuts taking forever to heal, comment 9. If you've made the switch and feel better circulation, comment 10. Someone else might really need to hear that. Let's be clear, this isn't about cutting bread out of your life. It's about knowing what your body needs after 60 and choosing better. Bread is comfort, it's connection. But your heart, brain, and blood vessels aren't what they were at 40. The same slice may not serve you the same way. You don't have to give it up. Just level it up. Because at this age, small changes aren't small. They're everything. 6. The wrong bread can weaken your legs without you noticing. And speaking of small changes, here's one with a big impact. Your legs. After 60, even slight drops in circulation can make your legs feel heavier, your steps less stable. And white bread? It's not just sugar, it's circulation sabotage. Lacking key nutrients like magnesium and B vitamins, it does little to nourish the muscles and blood vessels that keep you walking strong. Have you ever stood up too quickly and had to steady yourself on the table? Or felt your legs tire out faster than they used to, even with short walks? It might not be age, it might be your breakfast. Circulation depends on nutrients, fiber, antioxidants, and steady energy, not fast carbs that burn out by 10 a.m. Try switching to sprouted grain or rye bread, with protein and olive oil. Support your legs with fuel that actually reaches them. If you've noticed weakness or heaviness in your legs, comment 11. If switching your bread has helped you stay more steady, comment 12. Someone else might thank you. 7. Bread late at night can steal your sleep. Quick question, do you ever have toast or a sandwich late at night? It seems harmless, something light, easy to digest. But refined bread at bedtime can spike your blood sugar, trigger insulin, and lead to a crash while you're trying to sleep. This disrupts melatonin, increases nighttime heart rate, and may be the reason you keep waking up at 2 or 3 a.m., restless, wired, or needing to pee more than usual. And once your sleep is fragmented, everything else gets worse: memory, mood, blood pressure, even weight. Instead, go for a light protein snack, a boiled egg, a spoonful of nut butter, a small slice of whole grain toast if you must, but never alone. If you've struggled with staying asleep lately, comment 13. If adjusting your late-night bread habit helped your sleep, comment 14. You've just taken in a lot. 7 quiet risks. 1 simple habit. But take a breath. This isn't about fear. It's about finally seeing what's been hidden in plain sight. So now, with a calmer mind and clearer heart, let's look just a little deeper, because bread might still be affecting your health in ways you don't feel right away, but matter more than you think. 8. Bread that binds you, literally. You eat it, but it doesn't leave you. White bread, low in fiber and made from refined flour, slows your digestion. It moves through your gut like paste, clogging instead of clearing. And after 60, your digestive system already slows down naturally. Add low-fiber bread to the mix, and the result? Constipation, bloating. A heavy, sluggish feeling that follows you all day. Do your pants feel tighter by the afternoon, even if you barely ate? Do you skip days between bowel movements and just assume it's normal now? It doesn't have to be. Whole grain bread contains insoluble fiber, the kind that helps food move, not stall. Paired with hydration and movement, it keeps things regular and you more comfortable. If digestion has become more difficult lately, comment 15. If switching to fiber-rich bread helped you feel lighter, comment 16, and give others that same relief. 9. Bread and the racing heart you didn't expect. You expect sugar to make kids hyper, but what if your daily bread is revving your heart? Refined carbs like white bread digest rapidly, flooding your system with glucose, then triggering a rush of insulin. For some older adults, this can lead to sudden palpitations, irregular rhythms, or feeling flushed after eating. Ever feel your heart race without warning after lunch? Or feel anxious, but you can't explain why? It might not be stress. It might be your sandwich. With age, the body's ability to regulate glucose and insulin shifts. Fast-acting carbs throw off the balance, especially without enough fat, fiber, or protein to slow them down. Try sourdough, whole grain, or flax bread paired with protein. Your heart will thank you for the steady rhythm. If you've noticed unexplained heart flutters after eating, comment 17. If switching your bread helped calm that, comment 18. Someone else might be scared and searching for answers. If changing your bread made your mornings feel calmer, comment 24. It might help someone find peace in their routine again. You know, sometimes it's not age that makes us weak. It's the little things we don't question anymore. The slice of bread we've eaten for decades. The habits we repeat without thinking. And while none of this is your fault, now you know more, and that gives you power. You don't have to give up bread. You don't have to follow a strict diet or be afraid of food. You just need to understand what your body truly needs after 60 and make small, loving changes, starting with something as simple as your toast. Maybe that means switching to whole grain. Maybe it means reading the label for the first time. Or maybe it's just pairing it with something better, an egg, some avocado, a little olive oil. Whatever it is, it's in your hands. Because at this age, small choices aren't small, they're everything. So if even one of the signs we talked about today felt familiar, comment the number below. You might be surprised how many others feel the same. Share this with someone you care about. And if you believe small tips can bring big hope, hit subscribe to HEALZO. You deserve to feel strong, clear, and confident in your body again, and you're closer than you think.